Hey guys, it's Andrew Koza from CanSave here. So today we're going to do a StoneCraft install. And so first of all we've done is screwed up some cement board. You just want to make sure that you hit the studs and you get as many screws in it as possible, because this is really what's holding up the stone. In this case we have two different types of cement board, but it should be fine as long as they're both cement board and you're adhering the stone with modified thinset. That's all that really matters. So first things first, you get the cement board up, and then next thing is we're going to start mixing the mortar, and we'll show you how to do that. Okay guys, so first things first is you're going to use a modified thinset, and you're going to want to make sure that you have two buckets. So one, you have some nice clean water, and one for pouring your thinset into. So I like to do just a little bit at a time to make sure that I don't mix too much, because you also want to use it up before it dries out on you. So just put a little bit in the bucket. Set it aside there, and you want to be pretty shy with your water, because I mean, you can always add more later. So you put a little bit of water in, get your paddle mixer. You know, you can buy this at any store, about 20 bucks. Attaches to a drill, and you just start off by mixing it up. You're looking for roughly the consistency of peanut butter. That's a really good consistency to use. In this case, I think I have probably added a bit too much water, but it's pretty close. So what I'm going to do is just clean off the paddle, put that in the water, and we're good to go. Okay, so we started by laying out some of the different profiles within the box. It's good to get to know what you have available to you. So if you're using two boxes, you want to draw from both boxes as best you can. And then, you know, you can kind of start to pattern it out on the floor a little bit anyways. So this is the mortar that we wound up with. You can see that's your consistency. It should just be, you know, sticky enough to kind of hang out there for a minute. But not run right off, you know, so that's it there. I like to say a creamy peanut butter, you know, maybe on some warm toast. But that's it there. So we're gonna get going and laying it, and we'll. Okay, so we've come up the wall a little bit here. I'm using a few little shims in here just because I'm trying to get the right size mortar joint. It's more for measuring than anything else. The cool thing about using modified thinset is typically when you do the back butter and you stick it onto the board, it just stays. It's really nice. So I'll put some mortar on the back of this guy here just to give you an idea of, you know, what you're going for. So I like to use this little triangular sort of trowel. It's called a margin trowel. I think this guy was $8.99 at your local hardware store. It's not an expensive trowel. So you just kind of generously apply it to the back of the stone. I say usually about a ½ inch coverage, and you don't really need to do the scratch coat. You can if you'd like. It does help it kind of grab a little bit better, but you know, I don't think we really need to do that today. So back of the stone, you know, nice and clean, full coverage, and then you just want to try and stick it onto the wall, and you know, you want to make sure you're pushing it nice and hard until you kind of feel the stone hit the back of the board that you're sticking it on, and there you go. You know, there she is. She's on there, and she's not going anywhere. So we'll just do another one right beside it. So I have this guy set aside. Nope, not that one. I think we can do a little bit better than that. There. So I'm going to use this. This guy I pulled off because I didn't like the placement of it before, but it should still be good. Bit more mortar on there. Again, ½ inch coverage, roughly, but it's really important that the entire stone is covered. And again, just do a little wiggle. It kind of suctions and grabs it. Want to make sure your lines are roughly the same, because we are doing a mortar joint, which we do after. And that's it. Okay, awesome. So we've got to a point here where we've got the sills on. We're done our first profile, and because this is a display, we're putting another profile above. But what we're going to use is farm ledge, a little bit different. So we're not worrying about mortar joints. This is a dry stack. The really cool thing about this is it's a panel, so lots of different stones on one piece. And then there's 3 different sizes as well. So there's a medium size, a small one, and then a full size, which really helps with staggering your joints. So you're putting this up, it's just like flooring in the sense that you want to stagger your joints and not really have any that line up. So we're just going to go ahead and stick this right on top of this and continue up to the wall to here. But you'll see I got the sills on. They installed the exact same way as all the other stone, just 1/4 or 1/2 inch mortar on the back. I stuck a little mortar in the joint there and carried it onto the side, and up we go. Okay, so we finished this off. I think it looks pretty good. It went about twice as fast, I think, as putting this up. This still went pretty quick, but this definitely, just up it goes. Again, you're just staggering your joints, but that's the finished product. We'll get some sponging done there and clean her up, but that's pretty good. So, next step, for this profile, we decided to lay it with a mortar joint. Now, you could have done it dry stack, but for the sake of showing some contrast between the top and bottom, we decided to do a mortar joint. So, you use this cake bag looking thing. I've gone ahead and filled it up. You just kind of trowel in some mortar. And then just as you're going through the cracks, you're just going to push it out just like that. So I'll show you here as you go. You just take your bag and you just squeeze it in, and it looks something like that. And after it sets up a little bit, so we'll wait about 45 minutes to an hour or so, and it'll set up. And then we can go ahead and kind of smooth out this bubbled line. But that's really all it is. It's pretty simple. You just go through and make sure you get every line. And we'll touch base after I've done this and show you how to scrape it out and push it into the joints. Okay, so the next step that we're doing here is we just kind of scrape away all the excess and kind of push that beaded mortar joint into the cracks. I've done a good chunk of it already. I use pencil because it's a tighter mortar joint, but you can also use one of these little tools here. But you basically just come through and you just kind of push it, and it doesn't have to be super pretty because the next step is you just brush it away with the broom, but just kind of get out all the excess and kind of push it into the cracks as much as you possibly can. And once you're done that, it just kind of cleans it up. Then you take this little broom right here, and it has to be a little bit more dry, but this is kind of your last finishing step. You just brush it out, it cleans up the joints, and then you're done. Okay, and that's it. So that's really all you need to know and all you need to do to install StoneCraft Veneer stone. Came out pretty nice. We're pretty excited about it. Maybe a few spots that we just want to sponge up just to clean up at the end, but other than that, all in all, very happy with it.